Oh, Farley almost got it. Yes, 30. All right. So we multiply in as such. So 3 times 4 is 12 plus 30. Now, how about this one? What if I did this? I'll change it. I'll give me one. All right, I'll leave that there since it doesn't want to go away. What would be the answer for this one? You guys give me the answer for this one. What's that going to equal? You're halfway there, Farley. You're missing one component of that. Very good. So this here is going to be 2x times x plus 2x times 10, right? So 2 times 1 is 2. Remember when we did x times x, we add the exponent. So x1 plus x1 is x2 plus 20x. How do we feel about that out of 5? How do we feel about distribution right now? Okay. We feel good about it? Perfect. So now since we feel good about something, of course I'm going to change it up. So what we're doing today is common factoring. Okay? And common factoring is just the opposite of this. This one here, we're taking a number and distributing it through it. So we're putting a number into the brackets, right? We're putting a number in the brackets. What we're going to do now is we're going to do the opposite. And we're actually going to take a number, and we'll do this question right here. 4x plus 12. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a number or a variable out of the brackets. Okay? So if we look here, we look for 2 things. First thing we look for is the numbers. Okay? And is there a common multiple? Is there a common multiple with those 2 numbers? In this case, it's a yes. It's a, what's the common multiple? A 4. So we're going to take out the 4. And what we do with the rest of this is once we take out the 4, we divide everything by 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1. 12 divided by 4 is 3. Now, also, is there a common variable? In this one, no. So we're left with, why is my, I'm going to close that, reopen it. Oops. My eraser stopped working. So, if we look here, we took out the 4, and if you look between these 2 questions, they're the same. One, we put the 4 in to get this equation. In this equation, we took the 4 out to get this one. Do we see kind of what I just did? A little bit? Let's do this one over again. 12x plus 30. Okay. First things first. Is there a common multiple between these two? Is there a common multiple? And the answer is yes. It's a 3. So we're going to put the brackets there, and we put the 3 out front. We took a 3 out, okay? And then when we take the 3 out, we divide everything by 3. Now these two, 12 divided by 3 is 4. X, actually I'm going to leave the x out right now. And 30 divided by 3 is 10. Now the second step is there a common variable? In this case, no. Right, so we're just going to leave the variables alone. So this here is the common factor of this original question, because if I distributed, I'd end back up with the original equation. Let me write this down. So those are the two things we're kind of doing for common factors. So let me give you a new equation. Let's give you 15x plus 25. Letter, Dominic. Variable is just a letter. Oops, I want 25x. So first things first, is there a common multiple between those two numbers? Put this down here. Is there a common multiple between those two numbers? 5. Okay, so I'm going to take a 5 out, and I'm going to write it here. Then I'm going to divide everything by 5. So 15 divided by 5 is going to be 3. 25 divided by 5 is going to be 5. Now, is there a common variable between these two numbers? Yes or no? And if it's yes, what is it? Good, there's an x in each of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide this by x and this by x. Well, first of all, I'm going to put the x out here. I took it out. Now, if I divide these two, those are going to cancel out. Those are going to cancel out. And I'm just left with this. And then if I happen to expand this through, I get the same question here. Let's do another one. I'll make this one more difficult. Is there a common multiple between these two numbers? Is there a number that multiplies in the both of those? Dominic says 2. Good. Kovats, great to hear from you. So 2. So let's divide everything by 2 here. That's going to equal 2. That's equal, we'll put the plus in here. That's equal to plus 3. Good. Is there a variable that is common between these two? Yes or no? X, perfect. What color did you use for x last time? So let's divide by x, divide by x. Now, when I do this, if you remember your division, x2 divided by x1 are going to minus here. Oh, I forgot. Let's write my x out here first. So there's going to be still one x left over here. But these two are going to cancel. So there's going to be no x here. And here is our common factored from the original equation. How do we feel right now about that? Thumbs up, thumbs down? We're feeling good? All right. Let me give you one to figure out by yourself. Just kind of gauge where you are. Let's do a now you guys work on that right now and give me let's see here. You guys work on that right now. I'm working on posting this morning's video. Don't write the answer in chat right now. I want to give everyone as much time as possible to work on it. Okay, give me a D in chat when you're all done the question. When you think you are done the question. That's a confident D, Logan. A nice big capital D. There's Kovats. All right. Who would like, okay, if you think you have the answer, please type it into, here's a question. Do you want to go straight to the answer right now, or do you want me to go step by step? Does anyone want me to go step by step through this one?
I think I have it, but go step by step.
Let's go step by step. First of all, common multiple. Do we have a common multiple? We do. 4 goes into both those numbers. Okay. Now, what might happen as Yoscan, oh, I got it, Yosan. I said Yoscan. You might do something where you do a common multiple first. Let me do this one. If I divide both these by 2, I'm going to end up with a 2 and an 8 in here. Then you can recognize you can do it again. Okay. The common multiple here is 4. Whenever you have this, try the lowest number and then work from there. Like, so we have a 4 and a 16. Try the 4 into the 16, then build from there. So I'm going to take the 4 out to start, and this is going to equal 1, and this is going to equal a plus 4. Do we have a common variable? Do we have a common variable between these two? Good. We have an x. Now these two, this is going to reduce to x squared. Oh, I forgot. I need to take the x out first. And these ones are just going to cancel out. So there's our final answer. Oops. Right here. Now you don't have to write that 1. If you do, it's not a mark off, but you don't have to write that 1. How many people were able to get this exactly or understand this? Give me a yes for got it or good. Now sometimes you might have taken 2 out of there, but you kind of understand the concept.
So the number that goes like on the side of brackets is whatever the common multiple is, right?
Yeah, that's the number we took out, right? That's the common multiple we're taking out. So let me do another one down here. Let's do one that you'll run into. Let's go with 2x squared plus 10x minus 6. Do you want me to give you some time to work on this one? Or do you want me to go through with the answer right away? I take it you guys are working on it since you have your... I'll go through it, yeah. Give everyone a couple more seconds. Okay, so do I have a common multiple? First thing is, do I have a common multiple between all these? And if so, what is it? It's 2. Good. So let's take the 2 out and divide everything by 2. So these are going to equal 1. This is going to equal plus 5. This is going to equal a minus 3. Now, do we have a common variable between all three of those terms? Yes or no? Is there a common letter between all three of those terms? No. So since it isn't common, we can't take it out. And we just leave what's there in. And that's our answer right there. Okay, now I'm going to give you another tough one. Let's go with oh. Okay, so let's walk through this one. Now, one thing I'm going to say right now is if you never want this first term to be negative. Okay? So if you ever see a first term negative like this, we're going to take that negative out always. So we're going to take that negative out. So when we divide everything here, we're going to divide by a negative. Now, do we have a common multiple between all three of these? Who can tell me the common multiple between all three of those? Do we believe Kovacs? Oh, we all do. Very good, Kovacs. So we're going to divide these all by 4. Okay, in this term, negative 4. Okay, but I'm not going to worry about the negative right now.
So if the first one is if the first number of the expression is negative, then you just when you divide it, you just make it negative so that it ends up being positive.
Correct. We're going to take out that negative. Because when we start factoring, you always want to factor with a positive leading term. Okay? So negative 4 divided by negative 4 is just going to be 1. Now, how I do this, I go 12 divided by 4 is 3. A positive divided by a negative is a negative. 32 divided by 4 is 8. A negative divided by negative is a positive. Oh, I forgot. You guys got to remind me when I don't put that 4 up front. Now, do we have a common variable between all these three? Yes or no? Do we have a common variable?
That's the one part I'm confused on. Like, I get everything else, I just don't understand, like, the variable part.
Well, is there a common letter between all three of these terms?
Well, no, but there is between two of them.
No, I'm looking for all three.
No.
My toolbar is blocking. Okay. Does that help out, Dominic? So since there's not a common letter between all of them, we're just going to leave the letters in. Okay.
So if say all three of them had an X, you wouldn't even put the X's because they would all get.
We'll do one next.
Okay.
Oh, I need to move up the screen. Okay, I understand. I moved down. Now I'll show you one here real quick. That might come in the terms like later on. Okay. First things first. What do we have sticking out front here that we want to get rid of inside the brackets? What's out front? Negative. So we're just going to take the negative out. This means we're going to divide everything by a negative. Now, do we have a common multiple between all these three? Yes or no? No. So that means we're just going to divide by essentially -1, right? Because 1 goes into all of them. So we're going to go through. Now, when you divide by -1, or you take a negative out, all that changes inside here is everything is just going to flip signs, right? Because negative divided by negative is a positive. Positive divided by negative is a negative. Oops. And then do we have a common variable between all these three? Yes or no? No. So it's just going to stay as such. So this will be one you'll find out later where it's like, oh, there's a negative in there. Just take it out. Nothing else changes, but we change the sign on the first one. Here, let me give you a big one. I'm going to bring this down here first. Copy that and here. What's the hardest question I could give you? I'll give you not the hardest one, like the next hardest one. Let's go with like 2x5 plus 10x3 plus 20x2. Okay, first things first. I guess I should put a 1 here that says negative first. Do we have a common multiple between all these three? Yes or no? And what is it, Farley? Or someone else want to get in front of? Oh, Farley got it in before everyone. Good. So we have a 2. So let's take a 2 out. And we're going to divide everything by 2. So that's going to equal 1 plus 5 plus 10. All right. Next one is a common variable. Do we have a common variable between all these three? Is there a common variable between all those three? Oh, Haley, you're a rock star. So Dominic, you are right. There is an X between all those three have X's. But what Haley said is they all, at the very least, have two X's. So we can divide everything by x2. So as you take a look here, well, that's perfectly fine. I didn't expect Haley to get it. She blew my doors off here. When you take a look, and say, okay, all of them have x's. Perfect. Which one has the lowest x value? And that will be common because there's two x's in this one, two x's in this one, two x's in this one. So that's going to be x3, because if you remember, 5 minus 2 equals 3. This is going to be x1, and these are just going to cancel out. So there we go. That is factored. Now I could clean it up to make it look a little nicer like that, but that's fully factored. Let's try this one with you. Factor this for me. Okay, so do I have common multiples? No, there's no numbers in front of it, right? But what's my common variables? Can we take a stab at that? Who thinks they can tell me what my common variables are? X and Y, good. You're halfway there, Farley. So X and Y are correct. Is it just plain X and plain Y, or what variables do we need on top of here? Two for which one? Two for Y or two for X? So take a look at this one and this one, and take a look at this one and this one. What's the lowest number we have in the X's? The lowest number we have in X's is 4. So that's what we're gonna divide by. And the lowest number we have for the Y's, what color I use for Y? Yellow? Can you even see that? Is 2. So then we'll go through. These are going to cancel. Those are going to cancel. Oh, this is a really hard one. So both these things are going to cancel. We're just going to be left with 1 there. Plus x4, y4. That's like a super difficult question. You won't see this. Unless it's a bonus question, maybe. But if you can understand where all that came from, you're rocking and rolling. Let me take a look at your homework and see if there's any. See if I've done everything. Let's take a shot at this. Where's the hardest one we could do? These are your homework questions. Who has a letter here they want to do?
Mr. O,
Yeah, go ahead.
if we understand all of these, do we have to do them?
Well, what I always say is, like, if you understand it fully, do like one side of it.
Oh, okay.
Right? And if you don't get them all right, and you find them difficult, like you might be able to do A, B, C, E, G, but you kind of struggle with these ones, then hop across, do a couple of these ones. Like H, I really like. That's a tough one. Okay. Let's grab one of these, and we'll grab H and practice with that one. And then you guys will be good to go. So let's do H right here. I want you guys to work on H for me. And then I'll come back and correct it with you. Morning, JD. JD, once this lesson ends, we'll go over what you missed this morning, okay? And same with you, Logan. It's not Logan, is it? Who am I thinking? Yeah, Logan. Put a D in chat when you think you're done your question here. Good, good. Gabe done. Should we wait for Kovacs? Is that my... Logan's done.
Not 100% confident with the variable, but like I think I got it like pretty down.
Well, is there... Okay. Did you take out a variable in this one? Yes or no?
Yes.
How?
No, actually, no, I didn't. I put it there.
No. Perfect. All right, so let's run through this one. What's my common... Well, first of all, do I have a common multiple? Yes or no?
Yes.
And what is it?
4.
4. Perfect. So I take my 4 out, divide everything by 4. So that's 9. This is a +2. This is a -6. Do I have a variable that's common between all those three? Yes or no? No. So I don't touch the variables at all. And that's my answer. And if I wanted to recheck it, wanted to check my answer, all I have to do is rainbow back in, and I should get my answer. Oops, -24. Okay, so if you ever want to check it, just rainbow back in, and you should get the original question. Okay? And with that, you should be good to go. Your homework is right here. You should understand them. I believe you understand them. And you are good.
This is called common factoring? Or what
Common factoring, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because you're taking common things out of it. Okay? You're taking the common things out. Oh, and these breaks, they're not breaks, they're work time. Just like if you were in school, right? Like you do a lesson, you do some practice. If that makes sense. So I didn't know if people, because then it's better to do it now too. If you get it, kind of run through it now, then by the time 2 o'clock comes, you're pretty much done school for the day. So you guys are good to go. I'm going to stop my recording.